Hey, what's up, everyone? First of all, happy weekend. Wanted to record this video kind of to give let you guys know what I'm thinking for the market for next week. So, when it comes to red folder news, we really don't have much other than PMI on Tuesday and then our weekly unemployment claims on Thursday. Let's see if the 10-year bond auction on Wednesday kind of impacts the market and the 30-year. Overall, we have a couple of Fed speakers, so when it comes to the economic news, we might be a little muted. We'll see what the market wants to react to. Fear and greed, we're back to neutral. So, pretty interesting. A year ago, we were kind of like same place when it comes to that. When it comes to earnings, we are in another jam-packed earnings week. The main ones to look at Monday after close, Palantir, of course, HIMS, those have been traded or talked a lot on X, so that's going to be interesting. Tuesday, Pfizer, Caterpillar, Duke Energy, AMD, of course, and SMCI are going to be the big ones aftermarket. Then we have Shop, Uber, Disney, all that's gonna be fun. McDonald's. So yeah, we have a lot of um, cyber type stocks next week, like ANET, FTNT. So keep an eye on those. Eli Lilly on Thursday. So yeah, gonna be a pretty busy week when it comes to that. And then Catalyst watch for next week. Monday, we have, like I said, notable companies, Palantir, some dividend watch for Citigroup, LVS, IBM, and Met. About that, let's see. Tuesday, BABA has its annual meeting, so if you're trading that, keep an eye on that. Let's see. And then Thursday, tariff developments will be front and center for market watchers as new set of U.S. tariffs become payable. The European Central Bank will publish its economic bulletin. So just overall, we might get some overnight European news. And then Friday, TTWO is set to launch Mafia the Country globally. So yeah, so those are kind of like some of the things that may impact either specific stocks or the market overall. I'll keep an eye on Trump's schedule. Usually, if you go to there's this website called Roll Call. It shows they post it at midnight. They'll post the Trump schedule for that day, so that way you can kind of know when he might talk. And of course, anything he says can move the market. This week we went outside week. I initially thought we could push up to like 6,500. The high of the week was I was off by like 30 points or so. Because I thought we could potentially tap the top of this broad formation. We got close, but didn't happen quite. No biggie. Uh, the biggest things this week were NFP um, and the Fed rates, and of course the Fed rates remain unchanged, but overall, um, on Wednesday you kind of could see that we were kind of chopping up to that point, and then earnings, we had good earnings, and so pushed back up, but then Amazon earnings were a little lackluster. They went down like about 8% or so. And then NFP, the revised numbers were like bigger than expected, so that kind of brought down the market. From a macro perspective, we have a weekly FEG or fair value gap open, or sorry, that's right here. So if the market wants to keep coming down, we can potentially like fill it and maybe, do something like come down um, to, let's see, oops, sorry, let me zoom in a little more. We could potentially come down, tap 50% of it, maybe try to push out, come back down, fill it, and then push back up. And this could take probably not this whole week, maybe. Maybe it could take a couple more weeks in August, but we tend to have a little bit of correction in August. So let's see if that happens. If not, I can be completely wrong, and we just completely just maybe tap a little into it and then just keep going up. So keep that in mind. Keep this fair value gap in mind. On the daily, I drew this. On the daily, well, even on the 12, I did this on the 12 hour actually. I drew this fib, and 61.53 is our OTE if we keep coming down. If we start losing that and then we lose the weekly fair value gap and potentially even lose like 6,100, we can continue to come down and grab like liquidity right here, this area, these equal lows right here. Because yesterday, if you notice, we had this cluster of equal lows right here, and that's kind of like where we swept these equal lows right here and then pushed back up. Nothing crazy, but we kind of on the 4 hour, you can see how we came back down and then started to push up right there. So if that holds, then maybe we can continue to push up. So that 62.41 area is going to be important to see if it holds. But like I said, if we start coming back down, look for that 61.50, 61.60 area to see how we're holding there. If we can hold there, then this could be like a failed breakdown where we come down and then push up. And if we start losing that, then keep looking at those levels around 6,100. Um, and then look there. If you start to see wicks or kind of consolidation there, then we potentially can come up. And if not, we can continue to come down. If you look at VIX, I have this trend line here, and then kind of, this right here, it found those equal lows at around 1472, kind of like that area. And then it aggressively pushed back out. And so now I want to see, does VIX come back, test the trend line, and then push up, maybe to around these equal highs over here, around 25? Or do we continue to come back down? Maybe I like to keep an eye on gaps when I'm looking at VIX because it tends to kind of try to eventually fill those gaps. So keep an eye on that as well for the volatility. Of course, with a higher VIX, it makes everything more expensive. So, but it gives bigger moves. So keep an eye on that as well. And overall, that's what I think we might have this week. Keep those levels in mind and let's see. Let's see what happens next week. And good luck. We might see some consolidation at the beginning, who knows? So keep an eye out on that as well because the more we consolidate, the bigger the breakout. So thanks. Hope you liked this video and let me know if you want me to do more of these.